when you're in an environment where you have people that view exploratory testing as that random sort of low value type of testing that doesn't have much credibility, then you've got to rebuild that notion of what exploratory testing is to build its credibility back up again. And the only way you can do that, in my experience, is to actually lead by example and show it working really well and show it being done properly. So that's one challenge, is if you're just in an environment where people think it's not very good. Another environment I've certainly experienced is where there is an entrenched sort of model of testing, particularly based around, for example, as you just pointed to, Sandeep, like where there's some vendor lock-in to a particular tool that kind of forces the way they do testing into this model that the tool happens to have. So which is commonly based around artifacts called test cases or test scripts or something, and they're munged together into test suites and test plans, and there's all this stuff around it that that's what testing is to that organization, because that's the way it's modeled in the tooling that they choose to use. And then you come along and say, no, we're going to do this exploratory testing stuff, and we don't have test cases anymore, and it becomes a challenge then to sort of shoehorn what you want to do into that other model that they have. It's certainly possible to do that, and you can sort of reframe what a test case is as really a session of exploratory testing or something. So you can sort of shove things into the whatever management tool we're using, but that can be a problem in that the model is sort of entrenched in the tooling that they use, and that makes it difficult to do something that doesn't fit into their tooling. What else? I mean, oftentimes I've seen resistance from testers even to do exploratory testing, because they've been so conditioned by the environments that they've been in that if I'm not writing test cases and executing test cases, then I'm not doing proper testing. I can't report what I'm doing. I've got no evidence of what I'm doing. I'm not going to be able to do my performance review because I don't have all these things. So the resistance can come even from testers themselves. So that's a big. I've certainly experienced that as a challenge. In environments like that, I think it's what we kind of talked about a little while ago. Is this, maybe you have to add on some of that to what they do ordinarily, and then sort of demonstrate how that works to them, and over time maybe they can sort of shift their thinking just by the fact that they practice it and understand the way it works. So there's lots of challenges here. It's a very big question, but yeah, I think those sort of entrenched opinions about like traditional testing, whether that's like in the way it's managed or the tooling organizations use or what testers have been used to doing, all those things kind of sometimes can make it pretty challenging to penetrate that with some new idea, even though exploratory testing is not a new idea at all. But to those people, it feels like a new idea that doesn't fit with their worldview. So it's the same challenge as many others in getting people to shift their mindset a bit to take on a new idea.